What happened on live television didn't just shock people, it felt like someone had ripped the lid off a secret the world was never supposed to hear. It wasn't one of those soft-spoken rumors that float around for weeks. It wasn't a quiet whisper behind closed doors. It was a full-scale detonation, a blast straight into the heart of the royal narrative. Tom Bower didn't clear his throat, didn't hesitate, didn't blink. He just looked into the camera with this icy calmness, the kind only a man who fears absolutely no one could have. And he dropped a truth bomb that instantly shattered the illusion Meghan and Harry had fought so hard to build. He said Archie is not Harry's biological son, and you could practically hear the air being sucked out of the studio.
Then all of a sudden they say, but come on, we want our Californian kids to be prince and princess. It's beyond a joke. It's beyond a joke now.
Well, it's king and queen of hypocrisy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they are the arch hypocrites.
Anyone who knows Tom Bower knows he doesn't deal in gentleness. He deals in raw, unfiltered, uncomfortable truth. His entire career has been about exposing the secrets powerful people hide behind palace walls and PR-coded lies. So when he said it, when he declared it like it was the most obvious fact in the world, everything changed. Meghan and Harry, who had spent years painting themselves as the brave rebels of the monarchy, champions of independence, victims of the press, they were suddenly stripped of their narrative. Their most guarded truth, the one thing they probably prayed would never leak, was now echoing across living rooms all over the world. And the way Bower delivered it, that cold steadiness, that unwavering stare, it was the kind of moment that makes the world stop. Because this wasn't coming from a tabloid. This wasn't someone fishing for clout. This was Tom Bower, unapologetic, fearless, and absolutely ruthless when he smells deception.
What's so awful about the Commonwealth thing is that it's vital for Britain. It's important for the 54 nations who are part of it. And they have demeaned it by saying that it's all Empire Stroke 2 and the Netflix thing. But of course the greatest...
His voice didn't tremble, not even slightly. It carried the kind of authority that cuts right through excuses. The world has been lied to, and it's time we stopped pretending, he said. And everyone froze. For a long second, nobody breathed. The host didn't move, the audience didn't blink, and the viewers at home felt that electric jolt run straight down their spine. Because if what he said was true, if Archie, the little boy Harry once cradled with pride and happiness, wasn't actually his, then everything changes. Harry has battled the press, sued newspapers, fought for privacy, poured his heart out in memoirs, filmed documentaries, but this was different. This hit him where it hurts most. This wasn't just reputation, this was fatherhood, the one identity he clung to while the rest of his life fell apart. And the worst part, he had no warning, no preparation, no shield, just the harshest accusation of his life broadcast live, while the entire world watched.
...of racism, the royal family is racist, which he then peddled back on Harry, because he knew it was untrue. It was one of Meghan's many lies. And that is really what's so awful. That's why Charles tried very hard.
Tom didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't dance around it with maybe or allegedly. He slammed the claim down like a gavel. Prince Harry is not Archie's biological father, not by a shred of genetic material. The studio went silent in that heavy, suffocating way that, well, only happens when everyone knows something irreversible has just been said. People weren't just listening, they were stunned. Phones started blowing up, social media exploded, and chaos erupted online. This wasn't gossip. This was an accusation spoken like it was carved into stone. And in that moment, millions of people felt the same question hit them all at once. Could this be true? Because suddenly, the years of secrecy began to look different, suspicious, calculated.
Well, the problem is it's had none of the pickup as the Netflix series did. What did you make of the prince and princess thing? Because it felt very...
Harry and Meghan had always been extremely protective of Archie, almost too protective. Photos were cropped, shadows covered his face. Angles were controlled like a Hollywood set. They insisted it was privacy. But now, with Bower's revelation, the world started re-examining everything. If Archie wasn't biologically Harry's, then the Sussex fairy tale, a prince finding love, breaking free, fighting for his family crumbles. Their narrative wasn't just fragile, it was possibly fabricated. Their love story questioned, their motives questioned, their legacy shattered.
Charles's weakness. He should have signed the letters which prevented them taking the titles. And just in the same way that he can't decide, really, whether Harry should come to the coronation or not. I mean, clearly, as a father, he'd like him there, but this isn't about...
And Tom Bower didn't care about consequences. He wasn't afraid of being sued. He didn't flinch at the thought of palace lawyers or Sussex fury. He came ready. He came armed with receipts, confidence, and an iron will. And the reaction online was instant. People began digging through old photos, comparing baby pictures, pointing out differences that suddenly looked glaring. Side-by-side collages filled timelines. People analyzed Archie like a forensic mystery: hair, eyes, face structure, everything. And they didn't see resemblance. Not in the features, not in the expressions. Archie's eyes, darker. His bone structure, different. His natural coloring sparked even more debate. For a royal family, obsessed with lineage, bloodlines, and heritage, this absence of resemblance wasn't just discussed, it became ammunition. And people remembered how few pictures the world ever saw, how carefully curated they were, how controlled. Suddenly, it didn't look like privacy. It looked like hiding. One viral post slammed through the internet like a hammer. It's not about hate, it's about logic. Look at Archie, look at Harry, look at history. This child isn't his. Full stop. People weren't talking about race. They weren't talking about bias. They were talking about authenticity. Because in a monarchy where bloodline determines everything, title, power, legacy, a claim like this doesn't just shake things. It threatens to tear apart centuries of royal structure. If the claim is true, Archie doesn't just lose succession. He exposes Meghan and Harry's entire brand as a performance. And then the strangest reaction of all came silence. Buckingham Palace didn't deny it. They didn't release statements. They didn't correct the narrative. They said absolutely nothing, not one word. And that silence was louder than any fury could have been. People waited. Reporters waited. Nothing. King Charles hasn't mentioned Archie publicly in months. No recent pictures include him. The warm grandfatherly image they once pushed evaporated. And then came whispers, dangerous ones. Whispers that there were discrepancies in Archie's birth documents from the very beginning. That senior aides tried to clarify things but were blocked by Harry and Meghan themselves. And the most chilling detail of all, people close to the palace quietly suggested Harry never confirmed paternity. Not officially, not medically, because deep down, he didn't want to know. Imagine living like that, carrying a fear so heavy, so haunting, that you choose ignorance over truth. It wasn't just about reputation, it was about heartbreak. And then Tom Bower said it out loud, in front of the world. Insiders claim Harry nearly broke. The Montecito house allegedly went into total lockdown. Phones ignored. Staff dismissed. Security doubled. Harry disappeared from public view. He smashed his phone, refused food, lashed out, spiraled emotionally. Because the world wasn't just questioning Meghan or the monarchy anymore. They were questioning him as a father. Without fatherhood, who is he? He lost his mother. He lost his royal role. He lost the respect of the UK. He lost his family. And now he was facing the possibility of losing the one thing that kept him grounded, his son. And while all of this is happening, more whispers swirl. DNA test discussions, birth secrecy, redacted documents, staged photos. Everything they once blamed on privacy suddenly looks like a cover-up. Because it wasn't just Harry resisting the truth, it was Meghan blocking it. A palace aide admitted, anonymously, that awkward discussions about confirming paternity did happen. Harry refused every time, not because he trusted, but because he feared. Then came the biggest twist of all. Tom Bower wasn't speaking impulsively. This wasn't a random moment of drama. He has a whole chapter in his next book built around this scandal. Its working title? The Archie Deception. Meaning this was only the beginning. If Archie isn't to sign, Harry's biological child, the Sussex empire collapses. The Netflix deals, the memoirs, the podcasts, the entire victim-to-victory narrative they built around protecting their son. If the son isn't even genetically Harry's, then the story wasn't exaggerated. It was false. For Meghan, the consequences would be catastrophic. For Harry, they would be soul-shattering. And insiders claim Harry already feels like a shell of himself. Angry, confused, betrayed, lashing out, cutting off friends, arguing with Meghan. Because if he fled the monarchy to protect his family, but that family was built on a lie, then what was it all for? And now the palace doesn't even need to expose anything. Tom Bower lit the match, and the world is watching the fire grow. This isn't a scandal that fades. This isn't a headline that passes. This is a question that will haunt Harry forever. Is Archie really his son? And until the world gets an answer, the monarchy, the Sussexes, and Harry's entire identity hang in the balance. And as the world kept refreshing their screens, waiting for a statement, any statement from Harry and Meghan, something else started happening. People weren't just whispering anymore, they were connecting dots. They began digging deeper, resurfacing interviews, rewatching documentaries, examining every moment where Harry seemed unusually tense whenever Archie was mentioned. Suddenly, those awkward pauses in interviews, the way he would tighten his jaw or glance at Meghan before answering any question about his son, they all looked different now. They didn't look like a father protecting privacy. They looked like a man protecting a secret he was terrified would destroy him. Because this wasn't just a tabloid rumor he could laugh off. This wasn't Twitter speculation he could ignore. This was Tom Bower, a man known for dropping facts like grenades, standing on live television declaring that Archie's biological link to Harry doesn't exist. And that kind of claim sticks. It sticks because people already sensed something was off. They just didn't have the courage to say it out loud. Now they do. And the silence from Buckingham Palace only added gasoline to the fire. If the palace truly believed the claim was false, they would have crushed it immediately. They've done it before. They deny nonsense within hours when it threatens the monarchy. But this time, they went dead silent. And silence, especially from an institution obsessed with control, speaks louder than a press release ever could. People started to remember details they had dismissed years ago. The mysterious birth announcement, the hospital secrecy, the photos where Archie was wrapped so tightly you could barely see him, the redacted birth certificate, the decision to hide the godparents, the christening behind closed doors. All those little things that seemed unusual at the time suddenly made perfect sense in this new context. It wasn't privacy, they were hiding something enormous. And it explains Harry's unraveling, his anger, his paranoia, his obsession with keeping Archie out of sight. Not because the press was dangerous, but because cameras don't lie. A picture could show too much. A face, a feature, a resemblance, or lack of it. And that's why people are now saying Harry's battle against the media wasn't really about protecting Meghan at all. It was about protecting the truth he feared would eventually explode, and now it finally has. And the heartbreaking part is, this could destroy him more than any royal feud ever did. People close to the Sussex circle whisper that their Montecito home feels like a war zone now. Meghan reportedly went into full damage control mode. She's furious, panicked, strategizing, trying to figure out how to spin this, how to redirect the narrative. But Harry, he's doing the opposite. He's shutting down, shutting people out, shutting his emotions off. Because deep down, he knows that running from the truth only works for so long. And when a man like Tom Bower speaks, the world listens. The palace listens. The media listens. Even Harry no matter how much he resists, has to listen. And yet, no matter how much he tries to disappear, the world won't stop asking the question that now hangs like a storm cloud over the Sussex name. If Archie truly isn't his biological son, then everything Harry sacrificed, his family, his titles, his country, was built on a foundation that never existed in the first place. And that is a pain deeper than scandal. That is a heartbreak that no PR team, no documentary, no memoir can ever fix.